thought it was the last one. But I got to the end, it was just like, that can't be the last one. And it's not. Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. If you have not been here before, my name is Debbie and I read a lot of books. This one is The Spider by Lars Kepler. I recently found out that this is not the last one, as I previously thought. The next one is actually called The Sleepwalker, and it hasn't been released in the UK yet, but it entered the Norwegian bestseller list at #1 for hardcover fiction and ebooks the week that it got released. So yeah, I'm looking forward to finding out how this carries on. I read this on Kindle. I have recommended the series to my dad, but he hasn't actually looked at it yet. Can you catch a killer, or are you already in the web? So let me just get the cover up for you. There you go. So this comes after The Mirror Man, which was the first one that I read. I feel like I'm telling you every single time, because not everybody watches every single video. So if you're watching this video but you haven't seen my others talking about this series, I did start off by reading The Mirror Man first, which was book 8, because I did not realise it was a series about Detective Joona Linna. The thing is though, I've said since I met Saga in these books that it feels like it's not just Joona's story. And this really does put Saga Bauer at the centre. I mean, she was kind of at the centre of the other ones as well, when her dad and her sister were targeted. And in this one you see more of her, especially because obviously I said I started with book 8, so I was not familiar with the world building that had happened. But in this one you really do see Saga dealing with the deaths of her father and her sister. And she is put into the heart of this story and this mystery. So it is carrying on from the Uric storyline. I just need to read the blurb to you, so that's about this book. Come on. 3 years ago, Detective Saga Bauer received an ominous postcard describing a gun and 9 white bullets, one of which was intended for her partner, Detective Joona Linna. The sender alleged that Saga was the only person who could save him, but as time passed, the threat faded. Until now. A sack with a decomposing body has been found hanging from a tree in the forest. A milky white bullet casing turns up at the scene. When the body count begins to rise, the police realise that the killer is sending riddles, offering them the chance to stop the murders before they happen. But the police always seem to arrive a moment too late. As they begin to close in, the case becomes more and more tangled. Someone is spinning a fiendishly intricate web, pulling Joona ever closer to a trap he may not be able to escape. So yeah, so through this, you've got basically it's Saga is being sent postcards and also these little miniature figurines that are basically telling her who is the next target. So she has to identify the little person to figure out who is going to be the next person targeted. But then also the postcard gives hints as to where the killing may happen. It's a race against time really, because they know they don't have long once that Saga has received these clues. And at first they're all saying him. They all think it's a man that's doing it. And straight away it was just like, I think this is a woman. Straight away, straight off the bat I was just thinking, I don't think this is a man that's doing this. I have a feeling it might be a woman. Just based on something about the way it was being done. So when they finally went, actually, it is a woman, it was just like, my spidey senses were tingling. Apt for a book called The Spider. She's nicknamed The Spider because of the way that she kills them. It's akin to how a spider kills its prey. So yeah, I found that a really clever way to do it. That sounds really weird to say it's clever. Just within the story and the time frame. Because it's basically, there's 9 bullets. Joona's going to be the last one, but all the communication is going through Saga. And because of how the killer is talking to Saga, Saga becomes a suspect, even though she's the only one that can help them solve this. And I was ready to throw the book across the room, to throw the phone, because it was just like, I'm getting really frustrated with the way that people are treating Saga, because do they not seem to realise the fact that she is being sent these things? It was just like, yes, people she knows is being targeted, but have they ever thought to wonder why? They never stop to wonder why. They just go straight into the killer knows Saga, therefore Saga must be helping them. So that was the frustrating part. But yeah, it feels very much Saga's story because you are understanding the relationship between the killer and Saga, and why Saga and her friends and Joona are being targeted. It does talk a little bit about Yurig, because you find out that it's something about Yurig is the motivation for these murders, but I'll let you read it to understand that bit. But yeah, I love these books, and I was so, it was when I got to the end and I saw the final words, and it was just like, they can't leave it there. That can't be the end. Because as I was going through them, everything implied that this was the final book, but it's not. So, the next one is called, I've got it here somewhere, The Sleepwalker. It feels like it's going to be carrying on from The Spider, because the killer says something to Joona that implies that it's not over. Was it to Joona or was it to Saga? I want to say it was to Joona. But there is a bit of murky waters in there as you realise who is actually the target of all of it, and who the final bullet is actually for, because they say it's for Joona, but there's a good chance that it might actually be somebody else. I'll just say that. But yeah, it's so dark and gritty, and the fact that this has been turned into a TV series, I cannot wait to see how they adapt it. And as I said before, I think the series is going to be called Lazarus, and I was just like, why Lazarus? And then I found out that it's concentrating on the Yurig storyline, and so even though the first time we meet Yurig is in the Sandman, obviously they're not going to call it the Sandman, are they? So calling it Lazarus makes more sense, especially when it comes to Yurig's storyline of them taking him out and then him coming back. So yeah, calling it Lazarus actually seemed quite a clever idea now, the more I think about it. And obviously, having finished this one as well, once Yurig's, the Sleepwalker's story is set in motion, everything comes back to Yurig. Yeah. But yeah, it's just so good, it's so clever, it's so dark. If you really like a good, gritty, edge of your seat murder mystery, I totally recommend these books. They are so good. I feel like it's preparing me for me rereading the Rosalian Isles books, and because I really want to read The Surgeon again, and then because I've got some of the newer books, so it means I can read them all in order, and I think there's even more books than the ones that I have. So yeah, it feels like it's preparing me for getting back into the nitty gritty world of the books of Rosalian Isles, because the TV series, I had to separate in my brain the books from the TV series, because the TV series turned it into something a little bit more light-hearted, a detective comedy series. Once I separated it from the books, I was able to enjoy the show, but the books and the TV series were just so different, and the books were just so much darker. They did bring in some of the darker stuff, but ultimately the TV series went more down the relationship between Rosalian Isles, the friendship, and leaning more into the comedy of it, whereas the books are just so much darker, and I really enjoy that darker thing. So yeah, I'm preparing to reread The Surgeon and just go through all of them in order. So, The Spider, I thought it was just so clever the way that was done, and I just enjoyed it so much, and I'm really looking forward to when the next one comes out, because I cannot see it on Amazon anywhere, so obviously it hasn't been released yet. The Spider. Can you catch a killer, or are you already in the web? In this case, it does feel very much that they're already in the web. There you go. The Spider. Yeah. So thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe if you're not already. I have seen the numbers go up a little bit recently, so thank you very much to the new subscribers, whether you're here for the movie vlogs, for the books, for the little sketches that I do about my job. Just thank you. I will see you next time with another video. Stay safe, and I love you all. Bye!